Hey guys, this is Frankie, 大家好，我是 Frankie, and today we are doing Simplicity's vintage pattern 4178. We are specifically doing the reversible beret. So I'm excited to jump into this. Let's get started. 开始吧. And so this is my reverse side, and this is my other reverse side. I just finished cutting all this out. Also, for the reverse side, I put interfacing on it a little bit stronger, and I just traced all these darts and things. I traced it onto this. So now I'm going to basically put them together, match up the dots and match up everything like that, and I'm going to sew along the line. Come along with me to the sewing machine. Alright, so after you have marked your lines and all that stuff onto your piece, you're gonna match it on up. What I like to do is to make sure everything matches is I like to take a pin, I like to stick it through the dot, flip it on the other side. Looks good to me, so I'm gonna pin that on down. Now, you guys may not have to do this, but I have sewn up the other side. And I noticed that when I try to put it on, you have to be careful guys because you can stretch it out, especially because it doesn't have interfacing on it. But I put it on and I noticed that it was a little too tight. So what I ended up doing was, and I marked it on here as well, what I ended up doing was doing about an eighth extra, so that I can come in this way. So it's basically taking it out just a little bit. I did it on 3 darts, and now I'm mimicking it on this dart, because whatever you do to one thing, you need to do it to the other side so that the circle will match up. And I made sure I paid attention to the exact same darts, so I'm manipulating the same darts that are on the other one, just to get a little bit of ease and a little bit of excess. You guys may not have to do this, but if you find that if your hat is just a little too tight, it's basically you have to finagle the darts a little bit. Alright, so let's get started on sewing this. I mean, I've already started without you guys, but you know what I mean. Oh, I could have just done the one that I had pinned. Oh well, we'll do this one. We will do this one. One thing about the sewing machine is sometimes when I move this thing down, the top thread just yoinks right out, so I have to make sure that's long. Alrighty. Oh, and when you are, just make sure you're blending it into the line if you're moving it out a little bit. You're not trying to make a whole brand new line. That's only if you have to make your thing a little bit wider. All right. So we have it. Okay, so now that we have sewn all this around, the instructions say suggested seams pinked, or you can cut close and trim. I so happen to have pinking shears. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pink the seams. This before you trim. Well, you know what, never mind. But this is the final act. There's no going back after this. So be sure of yourself. Alright, so we have our seams pressed open, and now we're going to join the two together. So you're going to match your notches to notches and make sure your seams are together. So if it's not seam to seam, then you have something wrong and you need to flip one of the sides. So you're going to match up your stuff and then all your notches and whatever, and then just go around pin. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pin it. Okay, so I just finished pinning all this up. Things line up pretty decent. So what I'm gonna do is put a little stay stitch around here so that I can take all these pins out, and then I can focus on attaching this band. Alrighty, so I did a stay stitch here, and then after I did that, I just pinned in the little band. Now you can use a ribbon, it says ribbon, but I'm using fabric because I do not have ribbon. And I'm gonna sew it the allotted seam allowance, and then once that is done, I'll show you what I'm doing next. Okay dokie. So I have gone ahead and attached this on. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to fill this out. I'm gonna put this a little bit, like a 1/4 of an inch, and I'm gonna bend it over this way, and I'm gonna pin it down so that it bands like this, and then I'm gonna stitch it down. All right, so here is the hat. Here's the reverse side. I ended up taking the stay stitch out because the hat was still too tight on my head, so I had to go back in and fix and fiddle with the darts, but now it fits. Now I did not put the little dot here, but by all means if you guys want to, I just didn't want that on my hat. Hey guys, welcome to the try on. So now I'm trying on the white side. This is what she looks like, and this is the reverse side. I actually like the reverse side, excuse my hat hair, but I'm using this for a costume, so I wanted to give myself options, and if you stay tuned you will see what I'm talking about later on this month. But here we go. Here is the reverse side of the hat. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!